This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Welcome to the Accredited presented by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Did I get it right that time?
I promise you 1 week we can get it right. I don't know which week. I think it's week 4.
I feel like I got it right.
It was close.
Do I have to listen back to it to tell if I got it right?
We can ask the producer in the next break. At what point mark do we need to go? I think it's after the first 3 seconds you jump in, but we can get it right at some point.
All right, fair enough. I'm Ronaldo, and I believe that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen, no matter if he wins 7 Super Bowls or not.
I'm Ricardo. That's definitely factually incorrect. We've seen the greatest quarterback of all time.
This isn't the time where we have the banter. This is just introductions. Go, John.
John, and I'm here now.
His enthusiasm is second to none. He's so excited to be here. Neither one of y'all had coffee yet, hey?
No,
I had coffee.
Maybe we should get a coffee sponsor.
As a matter of fact, I think I left some iced coffee in the freezer. I need to check on that.
Maybe we should
Cold
get
brew.
a sponsor.
Got to get the cold brew.
Oh, we go to the text lines now? Anyway, let's just jump in there. Phone lines open today. If you're jumping in and you're joining the conversation, phone lines are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or toll free at 242-300-5720. Also, if you want to hit the text lines are open, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796.
Yeah, when you say GR96, I'm like, do we have those phones nowadays?
Sounds gang-related.
Oh, God.
But you know what I realized also, having a show on Saturday morning? Cardo has kind of ruined happy hour for us forever.
Well, didn't we talk about that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I feel like we should say it every time.
It's getting progressively worse. I could admit, because Friday it's hard to bounce back at 11. I'm just going to say the last 2 weeks, I came right before we walked up today, and last week I was late. So Friday's a bit tough to get to Saturday now.
But we love our audience.
We do. There could be a simpler way. Dwight, if you're listening, let's consider that 2 p.m. slot. 2 p.m. slot.
On a Saturday?
Boy, you tripping. I mean,
I'm taking that 11 a.m. I mean, college football starts at 12 o'clock.
Sometimes I forget the difference between a podcast and radio audience. Y'all gotta give me a blind. But all right, let's jump to our lead segment, what we call What's the Lead? So every week we take the number one talking point over the course of everything that's happened throughout the week, and we do a deep dive into that, have a wide-ranging discussion. We'll start there, but of course it's always a launch pad to something else. But I wanted to talk about perspective. And the perspective of situations and how it changes your production, changes your output. And the person who we spoke about this a bit with Jazz during the MLB playoffs, but I wanted to start with the NBA this week, and I want to talk about everything we've seen from Buddy over the course of this first 8-9 game stretch. At the end of last season, he was an afterthought with the 76ers. Couldn't get playing time in the playoffs. He was, maybe 12th, 13th in the rotation, had one game where they played him, and he was amazing that game. So he's out in Philadelphia, goes to Golden State. Everyone assumes that it's going to be a better fit for him because they were thinking, just the straight shooter comparisons between him and Clay. Right. And it's been better than I think anyone thought that it would have worked out. And we pair that with also everything that happened with Jazz going from the Marlins to the Yankees. I just wanted to get insight from both you guys on how your situation changes based on your personnel, based on perspective, based on the happiness of where you're actually doing work. Do we think that plays a factor into how he's performing in Golden State?
I think it's one of the biggest factors. I think oftentimes what we forget when we look at sports is that away from their perspective, feel, or court or whatever, a player being comfortable is a big deal. Comfortable in the city they're in, comfortable in the environments that they're in, comfortable with their routine, going to the gym, getting that workout in, getting to the gym on time, for shoot around. All of those things matter when it comes to a player being comfortable. And once you get in that situation, that's when your productivity goes up. So you go back to Philadelphia. Coming on to the back end of that stretch, it was clear that Buddy just wasn't comfortable in Philadelphia. Whether it was the coaching, whether it was the environment, whether it was the city, he just wasn't comfortable. non-Golden State, being around Chris
DeMarco, yeah.
you see the ability for him not only to get in and fit in the offense, but he seems to be more comfortable on the West Coast. Goes back this time in Sacramento, he looked comfortable on the West Coast as opposed to on the East Coast in Philadelphia.
You just don't like those taxes. But one thing is, and
Trump got it.
yeah, I would say California's a whole different story. I would say is Buddy didn't end the season how he wanted to end it. He finally got his first taste of the playoffs. He was like, this is great. And then he got relegated to the bench. And he only played pretty much one game, which came this summer where he is now in a national team trying to prove a point, but he's in a Chris DeMarco offense, which is the exact same offense that Golden State runs. So he has, we knew he signed while he was on the trip, but we didn't know beforehand, what was going on. Even though collective bargaining agreements all changed, it's just a little different of how it is. So all of a sudden now he has a head start of knowing Steve Kerr's offense playing for the Bahamas, which we didn't qualify for the Olympics, but that put a chip on his shoulder probably more, saying, all right, we didn't get this ultimate goal done. Now I'm going to go into the season with 2 months, a 2-month head start over the other players who are coming in. So I could go in there and you could just see it's been seamless. Right. It hasn't been something where it's like he's taking time to learn, and then having Steph Curry also helps.
But even that's the thing. I think that's the most amazing part of this was even when Steph was injured for those few games, Buddy's production was the same, if not better. He's been shooting at a ridiculous clip with or without Steph. And he's the same player he was in Philly. Yeah. Buddy did not change his game or change who he was in those few months.
That's why I tell you, it goes right back to how comfortable that player is. I think being in Golden State with Chris, you have a coach that trusts you. You have a coach that looks at you and be like, hey, this is a play that we've built for you. This is a scheme that we've constructed just to get you in the spot that you're most comfortable in. So it all brings us right back to that same point.
Pretty much 3-pointers. That's what the Warriors do. And that's what Buddy's great at.
Yeah, but he has the ability to step into 1 or 2 shots within the perimeter.
No, he could create his own offense with a Steph Curry on the court. This is where the problem was, I feel.
I need Duncan now, John.
Need Duncan. But this is where I felt that Buddy always had the problem. Buddy always had the problem of he was the focal point. Mm-hmm. People knew we could double team Buddy. There's no other
except
shooters.
That 1 year with AD. He definitely wasn't a focal point.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like he was a focal point of all right, we stop him, we're stopping the offense. Now all of a sudden he's more free. He could run around. He's just it's almost like Dave Yeager offense when he played in the Sacramento.
I miss those days.
When he had his best offense, you see him, he's running around. Buddy don't get tired. Buddy
That's the last time he averaged 20.
Yeah, so Buddy's running around, he's getting open, getting the screens, and he's going off the dribble.
We can't let that be a throwaway line. What do you mean he don't get tired? He from Freeport. They have some magical elixir in Freeport where they don't get tired.
For 8 Mile Rock is a long walk to school.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. So just to give you a look at the actual numbers. So it sounds kind of crazy. It sounds like video game numbers, but this is what he's actually doing. So he's making 61% on catch and shoot threes, 74% on wide open threes. He's shooting over 50% from field goal range and from 3-point range.
But see, a large part.
What's his free throw percentage?
That's all scheme.
I guess in 100.
I don't know if it's 100.
94.9.
Let's go
pretty close. But again,
96.9.
It goes.
There you go.
I like what you did there. But it goes back again to scheme. You have a offensive coaching staff that are able to put you in the spot that is best served for you. So as you said, what is percentage on spot up trees?
74.
It's hard to compete with that when you have the skill set that Buddy has or Steph has. Now you have the offensive coaches to actually put you in a position to get that shot as opposed to you having to create that.
And personality matters. Work-life balance matters. Because I go back to the Jazz thing, being miserable in Miami, but then you get to New York, you get to the Yankees, you get to the bigger stage. And we saw, again, his game didn't change. Same Jazz there was before, but you can tell that there's a difference in their production and in the way they appear on the court from both of these guys. I feel like it also works in every aspect of life too. I don't think it's just with sports. I think if you like where you work, your production's going to be better.
I can't disagree.
I mean,
but look at his time in Indiana. I always remember that. I think it was either ESPN on one sports station that did the recap of him taking the Pacers to his home, and they went on the Texas trip,
right,
and they were able to work out and do some of the pregame stuff at his house. That shows you the kind of player Buddy is. He's more happy in an environment where the team has the camaraderie, where the guys wants to be together. I don't think that was the case in Philadelphia.
I mean, Philly's a weird city because it's just whatever. But I just think it's so compact. Like it's not like too much people in the city. That's all I know. But even when we go on national
They
team
got the
trips,
Rocky statue.
yeah. Even on national team trips, like Buddy makes sure all the players get together, hang out, and we're always together. Like it's not like one of those things where someone's left behind. He needs everyone to interact, coaching staff, whatever. And that's just the type of person he is.
I just have to throw in the voluntary Kai shout out. Kai, see that's very important to the team. Everybody being together, working together, developing together. Very important.
Perspective, they thought Kai was done a year ago, and look at him now.
Perspective. Work-life balance. When you like where you work, your production is great. Why y'all think this show's so great? Because we like you.
Yeah. Good activity. I respect that.
Good life. So nobody is matching those numbers. And I think when Buddy signed the 4-year, I think it was $37 or $38 million deal with the Warriors, there was some NBA chatter, people questioning it. That kind of happened. Not from us, but people questioned whether, because it's his what, 5th team in 9 years. It was the 4th over the last 4 years, maybe.
The dramatic decline in his stats at the tail end of that season.
Yeah, because the playing time just wasn't there. Yeah. But I mean,
how many games he missed in his career? Like 6.
But
Iron Man.
That deal looks like a bargain right now for the Warriors because it has to be right now. And I don't think it's too early to say it, but based on what's happened over the course of the season so far, that has been the best move of the offseason. That's been better than Paul George to the Sixers. That's been better than Cat to the Knicks.
Yeah, Buddy right now, and
they have the best record in the league.
No,
the Cavs.
Yeah, the Cavs.
That ain't real.
What?
No, but we put it. It's just like Buddy's a borderline all-star this season. Like we said that once in Sacramento, where it was like when he was averaging 20 points.
Dave Yeager.
Yeah, but he wasn't shooting at the clip that he's shooting now, like the percentages and stuff. And that is what if he stays at 20 points a game at 50% 3-point field goal percentage, he will be an all-star. Like you cannot not have him be all-star and 6th man of the year.
Hey, and I'll tell y'all, as much as y'all was talking about elections all week, when this NBA All-Star voting come out, y'all better vote then.
No, I think it was Jonquil who said it. She did a show with Flo J.
Yeah.
The podcast, and she was the first one to say, y'all, Bahamians have to rally behind the fact that we're living in the greatest Bahamian sports generation at this moment.
Easily.
You have to respect that. You have to acknowledge what that means. You have Buddy, I hate to say it like this, but dominating right now at his position in Golden State. You have Jazz on the rise in New York. John Quell, Finals MVP. It's just so much great things happening for you not to be involved, for you not to feel like this is a big moment. It's just weird.
You got Donnie Freeman, AJ Storff, VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, we got the college basketball we're going to get to next, but I wanted to pivot quickly to Ayton as well because leading the NBA in double-doubles. I think we said it the first on NBA opening weekend, we talked about he may break the record for meaningless double-doubles because he's just playing in Portland and nobody expects much out of the Blazers this year. But Ayton looks like he has an exit strategy.
Do you wanna dive into that exit strategy?
The exit strategy is just to up your trade value. That's all it is. Like that's what the exit strategy is.
Where do you see him going from here? That's my concern with Ayton. Like you said, it's meaningless double-doubles. What is the next step for him? Because I don't foresee him finishing the season in Portland. I think he could be a really good contribution to championship caliber team.
You want me to?
Lakers?
Hold on. You want me to do my crazy, detective work at the board? We got one thread connecting to the next.
I don't think we have the space near for you to do it, but
all right. Theater of the mind. If you're listening, just imagine me at a board looking crazy doing this, right? DeAndre Ayton has now hit, 5 3-pointers this season? He's never hit more than 7 in any season. He hit 1 last year. Why is he extending his range? What possible team could he be showcasing himself for that is known for having a proclivity for shooting from beyond the arc? The answer to that is most teams in the NBA now because everyone's shooting threes. But there's one in particular that we always think about.
I always think about the Dallas Mavericks.
The Golden State Warriors.
So who are they trading?
Because
he's getting $34 million.
Where does Ayton always play his best next to? It seems like he plays his best next to Buddy on national teams, doesn't he?
It makes sense if somebody can
make so much sense.
I was thinking Dallas too.
Lively is there, so that's the issue. You can't play them next to each other, and clearly Lively is the better component right now. So if you could find a way to get him to Golden State, John, get on the phone with Chris, like Chris Crispin, Steve Kerr's here. make it happen. Like we could get a 10YS credit on it, something.
I mean, we do have to remember he did
They can
sign an
sponsor
offer
us?
sheet.
I would love that. I would definitely love that.
He did sign an offer sheet to Indiana that year when Buddy was
He was
there.
trying
He
to
was
make
trying
it
for that
happen.
time.
See, now we connecting the
We was
dots.
this
Now
close.
my conspiracy theory is coming together. He actively tried to
And
make
what
it
did
happen.
he do the next summer? Play with Buddy.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, there's a
Warriors
method
thing
to
looking
this.
like?
No,
madness.
but in all credit,
Crunch the numbers, John.
in all credit, this is where you have to look at it from a Draymond Green perspective. Adding Ayton to that defense, you don't lose much when it comes to what Dre is giving you now. So there's an opportunity there to replace Draymond Green with DeAndre Ayton and get more than what you actually have right now.
There's plenty of numbers.
There's plenty of numbers. All right, let's pivot quickly to college hoops. There is I know the Bahamas isn't really the hotbed of college hoops. In
I know
terms
what you're talking about. VJ Duncan, man. He dunk it.
Thank you.
He fly it.
This is how we get into the conversation, right? Because we have elite college basketball talent this year, and they are young. Well, we got a couple one and dones probably. You got VJ Eshcombe, you got AJ Storr, you got Donnie Freeman. They are leading the charge, but I mean we have more depth in terms of our D1 talent. Dayton Aubrey's there, Frederick King is there. There's so much D1 talent, and it speaks to the future of the Bahamas basketball program at the senior national level. But just for this year, and I want to start with VJ, this is a bona fide star we have in college basketball at a point where I feel like the throne is there for the taking.
Right.
Outside of Cooper Flag, who's the name that everyone's going to know?
I mean, Cooper Flag is pretty good, though.
He's good at Duke. Really.
Yeah, but no, again, and this is where the star of VJ Edgem has been born. If you watch him, he realized this more than anybody else. This is the opportunity for me to shoot up that draft board and be the consensus number one pick. Be higher than what Ayton was ranked when Ayton came out. He has that ability. He has the skill set.
That could be tough, boy.
It's tough, but right now, to your point, beyond Flag, who else is being talked about? You getting yourself on 1 or 2 ESPN highlights every night, you then become that guy.
Yeah.
This is the social media age. Really need to see you do 2 wild dunks. Look at that. Ja Morant was quiet the whole year. He did 2 reverse layups. Everybody's like, oh, Ja's back. So if you have that from VJ over the next couple of weeks, you have the potential to look at him and be like, okay, he's not 1, but clearly he's 2. There's a clear drop-off after 2.
And I feel like the men's college game missed that because the women had it with Caitlin Clark. They had it with Paige Beckers. I mean, they're still going to have it with Paige Beckers and now with Juju Watkins.
Yeah.
The women are going to have it. The men didn't have it last year.
Yeah.
Connecticut won 2 national championships, and most people can't tell you a single player from those teams.
But while we're on this point, I actually want to dive into this issue. And John could address this better than most of us.
He on the phone looking at numbers,
He-
trying to
he-
figure
no,
out
he
a way to
crunching
get-
the numbers, but
he's
he
trying to
can
get
get to
Ayton
this.
to the Warriors.
What I'm trying to figure out,
Plenty trades.
No, he's really doing this. I want y'all to understand.
look at the last 4 years when it comes to the development of basketball in this country. A lot of these guys that we now see dominating on the international market, where were their presence locally? Like that's the part that confuses me.
God, they was in here.
This is the point I'm trying to make.
Oh, you're saying that.
The renaissance that we've seen in baseball extends from 2 very critical programs.
Yeah.
JBLN, Freedom Farm, and all of the sports institutions associated with those 2 entities. Where's that for basketball in this country? Imagine how many more VJ Edgecombs that we have out there if they're just exposed to the right development. Where's that right now? Like, where's the feeder program? Why isn't that conversation being, had?
It should be a conversation that's had during National Sports Month,
Which is this month.
which is this month, by the way.
John?
So, no, what I was really looking at was, and people got to understand with these college kids, potentially we have 3 NBA draft picks next season.
Yeah.
How many Bahamians in the league right now?
3, 4.
We'll play
5.
5.
We counting Gordon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, 5.
National
It's a
team. bro.
national team
I
hero.
got it.
If we,
I wish we had a penalty
Yeah,
box.
what are you talking
That would
about?
have been like, you go stand in the corner and you come back to the show when you're ready to apologize.
We need a fine bucket in here because Carter should have to pay a fine for that. Eric Gordon should never pay for a drink
I don't
on
know.
Arawaki
I
ever again.
just get my hair cut in Fox and I guarantee you 1 or 2 people in the shop right now say, yeah, Gordon was nice, but he really behaved, man. So that's why I got to ox like that. Bahamians play by a weird set of
Super
rules.
Bahamian.
He should never have to pay for his hair to be cut in Fox Hill. Talk to your barber. He destroyed Argentina.
Yeah, that was sweet. But so VJ and Donnie are projected first round picks next year. AJ is a second round pick projected, which he could go in.
He could play his
He
way
could
up
play his
depending
way
on
into the first
how
round.
well
Yeah.
Kansas does.
So he could play
We've
his
seen
way
it
up.
happen.
But you could imagine next year's draft, or this draft coming up. You have 3 Bahamians drafted in the first round. I mean, I know there's countries that done it, but they don't matter. They ain't the Bahamas. They too big. Like Bimini boy. Donnie was born in Grand Bahama. He grew up in Grand Bahama.
I can't object to any of this. My question when I see things like this is not how good it is now. My question is why was it so? Not only how does it continue, why was it so difficult for us to get to this point when the talent is clearly there? Where are the programs that are established to ensure that these guys go from Bimini, to go from Freeport, to go from communities in Cat Island and Nagua, all over the Commonwealth, to get to a point where they could come to the capital or go to Freeport or go to Andros or go to Abaco and develop the skill set to get to the next level? Look at the progress of VJ over the last couple of years. How many stops along the way before he got to Baylor? He had to do the 2 different high schools. All of that hop skill, that could be done right here if the programs were in place.
One of the biggest things, one of the biggest things is Buddy. Buddy seeing and identifying the talent and knowing what it is, because it's something where Buddy invites these kids to his house to say, hey. No,
and that's what I want us to effectively communicate.
Yeah, but it's something where, why can't we have that here? Like you say, why can't they come home to train?
And this is why I want us to flesh this part of the conversation out. Because the general public don't understand the effort going on behind the scenes by somebody like Buddy Hield to develop these programs, to identify not only the talent in kids, but to say, hey, if we pair this with this and we give them the right amount of work, give them the right amount of time, this is what we could end up with. And that's just him doing it off the skill set of what he's been through Oklahoma, through his time in high school ball in the States. He's recognizing that if we could create a program to get these kids in the right spaces, we could develop them.
But you also got to look at Keno. Even he's in his 19th year. He signed again. But
LeBron,
he was able to get a Dominic Bridgewater out of here to Europe. So there's different paths. Everything isn't, hey, let's go to the U.S. and be in the U.S. Dominic now is playing Pro B, averaging like 12 points a game. He's about to get paid. Like this guy,
he did get paid.
Yeah, he got paid. No, but he's gonna get paid more. Like he's putting up numbers against some of these bigger European clubs that are trying to fight to Pro A level. He gets to Pro A. He's already been in France long enough to be considered a French player, so he gets paid double what a regular import gets paid.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's just like there's different paths, and you have to be able to say, okay, Buddy could do it one way. Buddy is like the NBA trajectory, the college trajectory, where Keno still sending kids to college and stuff and U.S. high schools, but also there's that European trajectory. So there's multiple ways to get this done.
There's multiple ways, but that starting point is always critical.
So I think the biggest issue is, and you were speaking to having an actual feeder system in place, and I want to go back to the baseball thing and use that as the launch pad to get into the wider discussion, because the success we see in baseball, that is because private entities have done the work to get the sport to where it needs to be, to flood the feeder system, to create their own feeder system. You kind of see groundswells of that in basketball because there are more clubs now. But I know when I was growing up, we had summer league basketball that we played in. Right. We had structures in place where your community or your club, you had the leagues to play in. I don't think that exists now, and I think that's been one of the major things that has hurt the way the sport has been developed at a youth level, because outside of playing on a school team, there's not much more you're getting out of that. And then even within the school structure, how much are you actually playing?
Right.
You have small pockets. You have clubs that are actually doing this work, that are traveling, that are playing as much as possible, trying to match what the schedule is like in the U.S. and trying to get the kids as much reps as possible. But no, we do not have a holistic approach to that nationally.
I understand the reps for the AAU, but one of the issues that I do have is that your school team is like your AAU team, where it should be the opposite. You should be playing with other players outside of your school, which I think that's a part of development that people have to understand. That Trae Young was playing with
Michael Porter.
Yeah, Michael Porter. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you play with elite players, play with different players. If you play with the same players that you always play with, you're not going to get better. Where if you have a different structure around you and different players, you're going to get better.
But see, again, going back to the AAU point, a system like that is so key because then the stats actually matters at that point. Right now, we have all of these loose threads that, dangle all over the country where you have people putting in reps, getting numbers, but it's not documented to the degree that a scout could come in and look at a program and be like, hey, this guy is playing against elite talent. He's playing with elite talent, and he's capturing 14 rebounds. He's dominating with 15 points in the paint. He's dominating with 3 or 4 field goals from three-point line every game. That's where all of this comes into play. So when we look at this environment, we look at this system, this is what the next level looks like. You need to have these guys not only get reps, but get meaningful reps to the point that you could put something on quote unquote tape.
Everyone has averaged 20 points in the high school career in this country.
Oh yeah, no, facts.
That's why
Facts.
I started laughing as soon as Carter went off on the tangent about documentation, because I was like, man.
And somebody could call them and tell us how they killed with 70 points in 83 or something. I guarantee that.
Don't get them started on how Buddy ain't the best shooter that they
Ever seen?
Buddy ain't the best shooter that they ever seen. But I want to continue discussion. We'll head to this break right now. We call it halftime. We'll head to this break. When we come back, we will talk about sports month, what we expect to see out of it, what we should see out of it, and then we'll get to some NFL talk. You're listening to The Accredited here on Guardian 96.9 Radio. Go.
Are you looking for a fresh experience? Look no further than Fresh Market. Our store is stocked with the freshest produce, meats, and dairy, all sourced locally and internationally for the best quality. With our commitment to freshness and our friendly associates, your shopping experience is sure to be a breeze. Come visit Fresh Market today and taste the difference freshness can make.
It turns out that there's more than one special gift to give that special someone this Christmas. Consumers are searching for the perfect presents and the right prices, so what better way than to place your products or services in the Nassau Guardian's Holiday Gift Guide? This year's Christmas shoppers will be sure to find that special something for everyone on their list. For an all-inclusive price, you can have your ads published twice in December in the Nassau Guardian's Holiday Gift Guide, in addition to 10, 15, and 30-second commercials, and not to mention a web ad on the Nassau Guardian's website. Advertising deadline is November 29th, remember. For more information, contact your sales agents or call the Nassau Guardian Advertising Department at 302-2300. That's 302-2300, and ask about our Holiday Gift Guide Media Bundle. You won't want to miss this opportunity. Ring in those holiday profits by placing an ad in the Nassau Guardian Holiday Gift Guide.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you. For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This November, the Nassau Guardian is celebrating 180 years. And we want to thank you, our loyal readers, for helping to make this one of the oldest newspapers in the region. We want you to be a part of our Vision Challenge giveaway promotion, beginning October 28th through November 22nd. All you need to do is find the hidden Nassau Guardian 180 Years logo, print it every day in the Nassau Guardian newspaper, and you could win prize money. Just purchase your daily Nassau Guardian newspaper every day, beginning Monday, October 28th. Find the 180th Nassau Guardian logo, cut out the page, mark the spot, write your name and phone number on that clipping, drop off your entries at our offices on Carter Street in Oakesfield, and every Friday, November 1st, November 8th, November 15th, and November 22nd, one drawing will take place. It's that simple.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and Gretzi.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you, and your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Welcome. How you know it's time to go?
I think it happens whenever you talk. That's when the producer kills the.
Oh,
so
that's
you
how it
kind of
works.
control it.
IQ it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
We
Wow.
can get better at this eventually, guys.
IQ it. Well, y'all never told me that. By the way, I do TV.
Fair point. Fair point.
Actually, before that, I just wrote. I learned the TV thing on the fly, like 2 minutes before we went on air. Anyway, welcome back to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and I had the third best high school basketball career out of the 10th year seniors crew.
I'm Ricardo. Who's 1 and 2?
I'm John Mark. I was the Prince Will killer.
John versus Prince Will was 1. John versus every other team was 2.
All right, fair point.
Listen, the Minister of Youth Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, said John was one of the most fundamentally sound rebounders he's ever coached. I want you to realize that this is a man who's coached every level of basketball in this country, from primary school all the way up to NBA players at the national team level. And he said this man here to my right.
Box out king.
I just got to say, John, can you walk him through the skill set to be the rebound king?
You just got to box out.
There we go. Strong takes.
You ain't got to be super athletic. Just got to be strong.
If you want to join the
If
conversation.
you go to UPT, then you'll be even stronger to box out.
Thank you for giving the plug, my boy.
Crazy work. But if you want to join the conversation today, call in at 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free at 300-5720. The text line is open also. 422-GR96. That's 422-4796.
So it is National Sports Month, and we started the conversation talking about, well, not started, but before the break, we were talking about, we have a call on the line. Go to Ricardo.
I think you hung up on them. You got to press the button.
You think Ricardo know how to do this?
Yeah, no, I do it.
No.
Oh.
I think we hung up.
All right.
No.
Go ahead now.
Maybe John knows how to do it.
Caller, go ahead.
Is that it?
Caller, go ahead. See, no.
That's not the caller.
Go ahead now.
Okay, so we were talking about documenting, we were talking about development of sports, this one particularly in basketball, but let's take that to the macro level, because we mentioned November is National Sports Month, celebrated by the ministry. It has its highlight of events. You've got the National Sports Awards that takes place tonight. You have the Hall of Fame. Why are you laughing? It definitely takes place tonight.
John Craig will be there?
No.
He ain't taking place tonight. Then.
You have the Hall of Fame ceremony that takes place later this month. What else is on that list? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think there's a church service.
Of course, there's always a church service. Might be a parade too and a banquet.
Christian Nation. And there's also, I think the banquet is in conjunction with the Hall of Fame. But these are the landmark events of National Sports Month. I think the Hall of Fame obviously is very important because you have to pay homage to the names in sport that have come along, that have laid the foundation for everything that's happening now. And every year with that, I actually learn something, because these are not stories. We do horribly at documenting what we've done in the past. So people coming up like us really would have very little knowledge of what happened decades prior.
I mean, I don't want to sound...
Anytime you start a sentence like that, you're going to sound... Yeah.
What sport Braid Davis to play?
I heard he was good at soccer.
I thought it was softball or something, but
probably good at that as well.
But it's like, I'll be honest with you.
Who could check him?
No one could check him. Okay. I understand that. But do we not have like actual sports people who have done stuff in this country that could be in the Hall of Fame.
John, if I was Prime Minister, you was putting me in this Hall of Fame.
Hold on. See, I think y'all got to take this a step back. I think y'all think everyone initiated like your Brave Davis getting in the Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all have to tell the people why.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Anybody in sports has been able to tell you why he's going in the Sports Hall of Fame?
I don't think we asked those questions. Like, we're journalists, but we're not journalists to that extent.
I didn't ask those questions. I really didn't feel like you had to ask. I thought it was pretty obvious. He's in charge. Anyway, so you have the Hall of Fame. You have the Sports Awards. So I think the Sports Awards and the Hall of Fame is like bridging the gap between who is being great now, who was great in the past. I think there needs to be more done. And so when we were talking about John Quill a few weeks ago, when we were talking about Bahamian athletes in general, and my thing is, you have to be culturally ingrained into what people think. You almost have to be socially conditioned to say that this is important. Sports Month is a nice step in the right direction. The awards are actually a nice step in the right direction. But there has to be more done to actually educate the public on who these people are. Like this isn't gonna do it. I'm sorry.
It goes back again to PR and communications. When you look at it from this standpoint, you had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction a few weeks back.
You did?
Yes.
Kodak made it?
No, he's gonna be there eventually. Well, probably in my lifetime. I
they
pray.
better do it soon.
Yeah, he gotta hold on. Pray for Kodak. But anyway, I say all that to say this: you have the activity that goes into promoting these classes, people being inducted into the Hall of Fame and all these other kind of stuff. We see it every year with the NFL. We see it every year with the NBA. We see it every year with baseball. Mm-hmm. Where's that same promotion? Where's that same build up here for anything local?
Yeah, and that's my thing, because there's such a long list. Are we going to the lines?
Hi, good day, caller. You there?
Hey, good day, brothers. How y'all doing, man?
Pretty good.
All right, let me mix the pot up for y'all. Would you all agree that Grand Bahama is basketball capital? Just let me hear it from y'all.
Yes,
all
I
right?
agree with
that. Y'all kind of skip that over.
You calling from Sunline?
Pardon?
You calling from Sunline? Did you attend Sunline?
No. I attend Hawksville High. Mighty Hawks.
Oh, that's a great institution. Yeah. That's a deep cut. Yeah. If you don't know, I think Hawksville High, watching them win those Hugh Campbells was kind of my introduction to Bahamian basketball, because when we were young, those are the only games he was able to watch on TV. When the finals came on, and that's where I learned the name Quentin Hall, and that's where I learned about all of that stuff. So yeah,
good. I played 2 years before Quentin Hall, Scott Forbes, and them.
So to your point, when you look at who's been the most successful at the international level, you have to say yes, because you have. I don't think it's even arguable. You got the two greatest Bahamian basketball players ever, both from Grand Bahama. You got John Quill, you got Buddy.
Yeah,
exactly. And to be honest with you, want me to tell you something? You know how much players I know from Grand Bahama? That's okay. Let me put it this way: Buddy from Grand Bahama, on a scale of 9 to 10, on the scale of 1 to 10, Buddy, I give him a 7-8. I know players that was at 9, 10 that they missed.
You give Buddy a 7. You mean when he was younger at that age?
When he was younger at that age.
Okay. Oh no. I just needed to clarify, because I didn't want people to think that you were saying that there's dudes out there better than Buddy.
No, not now. On that age. At that age.
No, definitely that was true.
It brings us back to the original conversation that we were having. Imagine if you had a system or institution that was able to capture those dudes at that age who was a 9, 10 as compared to Buddy at the age. Imagine where we would have been. Mm-hmm. And again, imagine that talent that exists out there now that we're not capturing.
Exactly. They miss a whole crew.
So let me ask you a question, callers. What do you think it is about Grand Bahama that makes it that basketball capital? What is the edge that they have?
And Grand Bahama players are more disciplined. We play more organized ball, and then we play ball more. When after school, what we do in the community as fellas, we go and play basketball. We don't just play when time to practice for school or high school. The community, we play ball. We play all night. I remember days we used to go at Syntex, play ball 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That was a normal thing for years. You understand? We just more discipline in the system. And like for now, in this season, Tabernacle. You know what Tabernacle doing in the off season for the Christmas? They're taking a crew of fellas, and they've been doing this now for years, 10, 15 years. They're taking a crew of fellas
They travel.
in the U.S. to play pickup ball. And all the schools kind of do that. They play in the off season, go play pickup ball, and then they play against those U.S. teams. You know, the U.S. teams always a step or two ahead of us.
Right.
So we get most of our practices by playing U.S. teams. So when we come to the U Campbell and play regular basketball on the national level in the Bahamas, again, it's like playing just a regular pickup ball.
Got you.
Because the guys, a guard from the U.S. is almost 6'4", 6'5".
Right.
Then we get the 5'2", barely 6 foot guards here.
Got you.
Thank you, caller.
You understand?
Thank you.
All right, appreciate your call. Yeah, I mean, he made some valid points, unarguable. I mean, of course, there's people from Nassau that is going to push back against it, but the evidence just isn't there right now. They got it right now.
And then you got to put VJ on the north side of the Bahamas, which is closer to
Freeport.
Yeah. But no, I'll say this.
We can't split it in regions.
Yeah, no.
They can't get VJ.
Well, that's what we're doing. We do what we want.
Bimini ain't going to let them happen.
No, Bimini is very... But no, real national team is comprised of a lot of Freeport players.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
Travis, Kentwan, you got Buddy, Donnie, Freeport. You know, like, you'd be surprised of who is Freeport. I think it's a good mix, but I do think that the brand of basketball that's played in Freeport
And that's
is
the point.
more appealing
And that's the point.
than the brand of basketball that's played in Nassau.
No.
And they all play indoors.
See, no, this is why I always make the point.
Ah, there you go.
You have a handful of schools from Nassau that at the Hugh Campbell level that can run with those. Go and look at the last 7, 8
I
years.
didn't say
in the
they
final.
were good. I said the brand of basketball just is more appealing.
But how do you go ahead and you structure that brand of basketball?
When I was in school, we used to call it statesy.
Again, how do you
We were
structure
all
that
in school
brand?
at the same time.
How do you structure that brand of basketball? It's the way the game is played. It's where the game is played. It's how it's played. That a lot of times that level of teaching isn't done. I'm not going to knock. We've had a lot of great coaches here in Nassau. Again, look at the last 10 years. But that is not translated into you producing the kind of players that could stand pat, that could go to a university right away. There's so much other elements that need to be
I
laid
feel like
on.
you're specifically talking about shooting.
Not just that, dudes gotta know how to dribble off. Like you gotta know how to run a proper pick and roll. You gotta know how to pull up. You gotta know how to have full control of your shot. So when you come off that screen, you're able to launch. A lot of these things aren't taught at the junior high school level, at the senior high school level. So you have guys that when they get there, they have the skill set, they have the talent. It's just that they're not mature enough in their game to do what it is that they need
You
to
ever
do.
shoot and win?
It's very difficult.
Need to play more games at Kendall G. Isaacs. I don't know why you got these boys running up and down in the parking lot.
Isn't he in
but-
the Hall of Fame too?
Who?
Kendall Isaacs.
Yeah, he's also.
They
in this-
just put him in.
You know this Hall of Fame class really well.
I just read a list.
Y'all wait to get it.
and I'm still trying to figure out like
Michael
what the
Thompson in
reason.
it?
I think he was in a
Oh,
long time.
we don't have a basketball instructor named after him. He's the first.
He got a street, though.
First foreign-born number one.
What
pick.
street is Joe?
It's
Michael
right
Thompson
in front
Boulevard.
of. Yeah, nice. His son had to win the championship
Yeah.
before they gave that to him. It's like 40 years later.
He being celebrated with championships involved now.
All right, we got 13 minutes left. Do we have to talk about this NFL stuff?
Yeah, we gotta run through it.
All right, so we're gonna go to our segment called "Things Are Down Bad," where we talk about the most popular NFL fan bases in the Bahamas, and we assess how things are going.
I don't feel like you have the joy about it.
I just want to get the Dolphin thing out of the way.
Yeah, because he
All right.
had a good week. He
All
had a
right,
good week.
Miami Dolphins things are down bad. Down bad. It's horrible. The Dolphins are a terrible franchise. Just take a fire and light the whole thing. It's done.
And this is where I beg to differ.
Oh, go ahead.
Tings is Tings, because Tua came back and he ain't dead.
This is where the expectations now
I'm
are
just
for us.
saying, Tua came
The bar
back
is on the floor.
and he ain't dead, and that's great.
We just want the quarterback
That's a-
to be alive.
That's victory.
Alive. That's it.
Hey, shout out Dan Marino. So many good years of service in Miami. I hate
Shout
the
out
legacy
JP,
come to
they're
this.
Still getting them checks as a consultant. Boy, Marino don't do nothing but sit up there and be stressed.
No, but I think things is things. To John's point.
What?
Tua came back and he survived.
They're
I
2-6.
I just wanted him to continue to be eligible to play. That's all I
I
had.
just want him to be eligible to breathe.
That too. Rest in peace, Junior Seau.
That Tua.
I see what you did there.
This is an audio medium.
No, people can watch.
Yeah.
People are watching now. They can't hear. All right, Dallas Cowboys. Tings are down bad. Come on, they just as bad as
At
us.
this point, this Tings is Tings because they bad.
What?
They just bad.
Uh,
Like down bad is a team that you expect to do well, and it's like, no, things is things because they're just terrible.
There was a literal video of Dak Prescott on the sideline expressing how he feels about their prospects for the future, so, as we say.
Things is things, they bad.
I mean, things is things with him because he just got the bag and he getting married and...
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Y'all think Doc could stay in Dallas in 2 years? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Is he going to be there in 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That money, boy.
It's a lot of
Taxes
money.
there are great too. Like, you ain't get taxed as hard as you go to the mother states. That's 8 home games.
Trump got it.
Fair.
They put in tariffs on the Cowboys.
Possibly. I don't know. Remember when go watch the ESPN 30 for 30 on Who Killed the USFL and you'll learn a lot about Donald Trump's relationship with the NFL. They didn't want to let him in the club. He formed his own league. There's a whole thing. But now he could get back in there because now he's in charge of everything. Again.
I just gonna say Vince McMahon is out there too, so y'all can like.
Oh God, no! Leave him wherever he is. San Francisco 49ers. Things are down bad. Christian McCaffrey is back. The 49ers trending towards being healthy, and that's 90% of being good in football.
Yeah. Things is things.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Things down bad.
We have to create a new category in this because things is things is things.
It is
I
what
just
it
don't
is.
understand it. I like that. I like that.
So the Steelers are
It is
always
what it
going
is.
to be. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I don't understand how, but it is what it is.
I'm on the same boat because it's like, I'm telling you, this is the year when, remember they were 11-0 and they were winning games.
So really, we just wait out whatever happens with Pittsburgh. We don't even have to.
I don't think they're that good, but they're winning. So I don't get
They're
it.
going to make the playoffs. They might host a home game and they
Strange
will
enough.
lose in the first round.
So they are on their level of expectations right now. The scope is so wide. They could get to the Super Bowl. We're not surprised, and they could collapse immediately, and we're not surprised.
No, I would be surprised if they make the Super Bowl.
I'll be
taking it a little
surprised.
too far.
I'll be
Russell
surprised.
Wilson.
I'll be surprised if they make the AFC Championship game. I think whatever wildcard team gets hot at the right moment goes through Pittsburgh and
I
destroys
feel like
it.
this Pittsburgh's the type of team that will win one playoff game, and that's it. That's as far as they go.
I feel like if they have to play the Dolphins get there. Hell,
How are they going to play the Dolphins, Scott?
I'm just saying.
How?
If the scenario
is it a friendly?
if the Dolphins run the table, they can still make the wild card.
What table? See, you're doing this to try to draw a
Now, what is the
reaction out of
Dolphins?
me.
What is the Dolphins
Not
record?
good. Number 2 pick.
I pull it for Lamar Jackson. Anyway, the front runners, Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is obvious. Things is things. The rich get richer. They got DeAndre Hopkins, and he had a flashback moment against Tampa Bay. We're probably going to see more of that. Patrick Mahomes plays with a different level of joy when he has good receivers.
After the Hopkins thing, I was like,
John, don't even look up none of that Dolphins stuff. Just let him finish make this.
I said to myself, if Calvin Johnson comes out of retirement, he can get 6 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes like right now.
Yeah, he'll be Randy Moss with the Patriots that year.
Bro, that's like his just natural talent could put up 6 touchdowns against
Now,
the City.
he does run a very profitable cannabis business. Is he still allowed to do everything he has to do with that and play in the NFL?
Tom Brady could still talk sports and own the team. We good.
Oh yeah, he just can't go to production meetings. So he got less work.
He can't just.
We don't go to production meetings either.
Calvin Johnson just can't. He just can't be a part of like the health regimen. But he could be in. He could be.
I
in
guarantee he's a part of plenty people health regimen.
Man, all I want to say is this, right?
Part
The
of my
Dolphins
health
are
regimen.
2-6, right? They're 2-6. Why we have the 8th pick overall right now?
Because there's plenty one in.
John, why are you looking this up?
It's just like I would hope we.
We have the same record, so you are.
Yes. Oh, you get 2-7, but pretty much yeah.
See?
You don't run at the table there. You know, I apologize, Dolphin Nation. I thought y'all had a chance. Zero possibility.
I just want Lamar to get his flowers. That's all.
I don't understand what happened Thursday night.
Lamar happened.
Well, the Chiefs
see,
got
this
the
is what we need to
the
start
Chiefs
doing.
got the
Maybe
refs on their side, so.
Let's just start talking about football outside of the Dolphins. And
Wait,
all
did
this
you
other
see how
stuff.
good a game is? Like when teams that could play football.
Oh my God, being talented is really, really entertaining to watch. I think sometimes we watch so much Dolphin football that we forget.
That's why we're
what
so
talent
excited for
looks like.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Like even though the Dolphins like suck in the playoffs and don't do anything,
Yeah.
we're excited to watch playoff football. You know why? Good
Talent.
teams.
Yeah.
It's like watching the Olympics. You just watch it because it's the best of the best.
And that is why will be so important to go down and take in the National Sports Awards because you get to see the best of the best in Bahamian sports. There's
I feel
a
like
lot.
you're selling a dream,
The
but
best of the best in Bahamian sports is
John Queller's not. Could we
There's
please
a
stop
lot of-
saying that?
Listen,
Maybe she has a
when you
video
watch
message.
the Grammys and you watch what's the other thing that award show, the
BET
Oscars and
Awards?
stuff like that. Yes, I love that John went BET Awards first.
It actually has been the best award show for the last 7. Remember when Jay-Z them was boycotting the Grammys? And we gotta wrap up soon. But when Jay-Z them was like boycotting the Grammys, how good was it? Not good at all.
I don't know.
Everybody just watched maybe Taylor Swift or Beyonce get an award and you get to see them, but it wasn't good.
Wait until they start having media awards at the sports awards.
Oh god,
oh jeez, we ain't winning nothing.
We can win something. Y'all don't think we can win something?
No.
Why?
we've been through this before.
You know what though? This isn't.
if y'all actually go to the sports award, we might could get on.
Oh,
here
you
in the
gotta
mix.
go. Oh, all right.
Yeah, see that's the
I
problem.
gotta go.
Y'all only supporting Calvin Johnson cannabis business. That's the problem.
Yo, we going when we gotta work.
So this is not sports, but it's great.
On this show? Go ahead.
Yeah. So you heard about the Amazon thing, right?
Yeah.
I made an order. I'm testing it out, and I'll let y'all know next week how it goes.
Everybody made an order. Everybody's tested it. I think we'd be there to pick up our stuff. The exact same.
So
I don't think this
Well,
is
now
gonna
I
last.
feel left out because I haven't done it.
Don't get a lie.
When did you order?
I read the eyewitness report yesterday. An hour later, I placed my first order. I was trying.
When's it supposed to come in? The 14th?
Next week.
Thursday?
Is it the 14th? Is next week? No, next week Friday. That's
Oh,
the-
see, mine's the 14th.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
They all come at
Anyways,
the same time, bro.
all I know is this is a great time to try it out. And then we'll come back on the airwaves and let you know. Well, maybe if
We'll
Alex-
let you know if it's Tings or Tings or
Tings
down
is
by.
Tings. Boy, hopefully Tings is Tings with that.
But I feel like maybe the journalists should be a part. Like, I don't know what goes into the voting process because, voting process is very important.
You know they have like probably like a committee of 800 people who don't watch sports.
That's a lot of people.
Again, and see, we don't have the time to delve into this, so we
got
got
like 2 minutes.
We got to do this next week.
Oh.
The problem isn't that.
Well, we'll get to talk about the winners.
The problem isn't that the journalists are not involved. The problem is majority of this is a social club. If you look at, I'll always remember it. When I was in media, we had to do this thing with Sir Durwood. And that was when I found out about all of the stuff
R.I.P. to a legend.
all of the stuff he did in the Olympics, all of the stuff he did for sailing. But then you had people on the side of him who just had 2 good years at, I don't know, summer night, night league basketball. And you're like, okay,
Those are legends, bro.
these things
Basketball
don't
was
add
popping
up.
then, no.
But these things don't add up.
They say Sir Lyndon used to come to the games.
What I'm trying to say to you now is that if you have Sir Durwood, legend on the world stage,
Yeah.
and then you have random guy that put up 20 points in 2 seasons at night league, that should not be this. That shouldn't be in one class.
Yeah, but that was 2 big seasons, though.
Did they win championship?
They probably win a championship. Was it the Kentucky Colonels?
Yes.
Because Kentucky Colonels had a legendary squad.
Yeah, 7-game season.
Look, we still have arguments.
3 Saturdays in a row.
And we always say it. People argue that Buddy Hield is not the best shooter in the Bahamas ever.
I need to see him do it against the Bex Cougars.
Y'all think it's tough.
That'll do it. That'll do it for the Accredited this week here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I feel like we got a lot done. Next week, we're going to be talking about our reactions from the sports awards and more. What's the and more? We'll figure it out.
It turns out that there's more than one special gift to give that special someone this Christmas. Consumers are searching for the perfect presents and the right prices, so what better way than to place your products or services in the Nassau Guardian's Holiday Gift Guide? This year's Christmas shoppers will be sure to find that special something for everyone on their list. For an all-inclusive price, you can have your ads published twice